Hello. Hello. This is not gonna be Lucas Fails at TF2. This is something else. This is gonna be post commentary, and in the background is just gonna be some gameplay of me playing Sniper. Sniper is my worst class, by the way, and I thought, you know, it's my worst class. I'm gonna try and improve on it. So, yeah, I'm improving on him, and I'm using my loadout is consists of the two most overpowered weapons in the entire freaking game: the upper hand and the frying pan. And I put the SMG on it. One thing I have to announce: I'm going to be away at my grandma's house, from today to some other day. I forgot what it was. So I'm probably gonna record some stuff, and then I'm gonna compile it once I get home, and then upload it. So you're not gonna get a normal Wednesday video, I don't think. But yeah, so the title of this video is, I think it should be, Furiously Opping or something, and you're probably thinking, what does that mean? Well, what it means is I watched, and I literally just got back from it, like an hour ago or so. I literally just got back from watching the new Fast and Furious movie. I had never seen the other movies. The new Fast and Furious movie is just called Furious 7, which is very appropriate considering that they say it's not just about being fast this time, and they're right about that. They're definitely right about that. There's not that much car racing. But back to the point. There are going to be spoilers. There are going to be spoilers of the movie, so you better leave, if you haven't seen the movie. And if you have, and you're watching this, then go ahead and watch. If I did not talk about the entire movie, then this video will be quite lame, quite boring, and yeah. By the way, I'm not sure what time this video is going to go up, either on Friday, or today, or Saturday, but I don't know, I guess we'll see. But anyways, yeah, that movie, I walked in it expecting it to be completely over the top and just like far too much, way too much, like as over the top as Sonic games. And well, let's just describe everything. So let's just describe everything that I could nitpick about it. Yes, it was over the top. What do you expect? Anyways, yeah, there's characters and stuff, and yeah. So, the main bad guy, I don't know what his name is, I forgot. I'm really good at watching movies, anyways. Some guy that was the brother of another guy that they killed, and yeah, he's the bad guy, and he's kind of a ninja. I think this guy, I would describe him as the spy in Team Fortress 2. Obviously Team Fortress 2, but he was like insane. Like he's like the good spy on the enemy team, like that's dominating everyone, but I can't even explain it, but yeah, of course, over the top villains. And yeah, what else is there? I'm trying to think. I plan to make this video about, of course I don't have a script or anything, but yeah, yes, this guy is like a ninja, and he's the main villain, and yeah, they try and, well, it starts off in a building, and he's just like broken in, and he's like, who cares, just broken. And then he gets in a fight with a dude that I'm guessing was the main character of the past Fast and Furious movies. Gets into the fight with the dude, and then puts down a mine that was actually a time bomb. It looked like a mine, but it wasn't. But it was actually a time bomb, and exploded. It exploded after 3 seconds and blew up a building. And the guy I don't know what their names are. Sorry. The guy, the main character from the other guy things, I'm guessing, falls off. He falls off the building along with the girl that I don't know who she is. But luckily they fall onto the car, and he's under her, like, and he's like protecting her, I guess. And that saved her life. But sadly, he came out with a broken arm, and he had to go to the hospital. Yeah, and I was kind of excited to see him because I knew about him. I didn't know his name though, and I knew he would probably just be a complete badass. But yeah, and then his friend gets in a fight with the guy, with the guy, and okay. This fight started off like the good guy. We're just gonna call him the good guy. He was chasing the bad guy, and then they end up in the middle of a really like under the road, I think, and it was just really dumb because they started off the fight by ramming their cars into each other, which is one way to start off a fight, one way. But why do you start off a fight like that? And then of course they get out of the cars and are planning to fight, but then they're interrupted by some dudes, like an Asian guy and his little army, and he has something called the God's Eye, and he's gonna look for everyone, and he has something called the God's Eye, and he's gonna help the good guys. He's gonna help them out. He's gonna help the good guys kind of defeat the bad guy, and so yeah. He helps them out, and he finds the good guys' friends, pals, family, I guess. Not really family, but not like genetically family, but family in spirit. And I guess they have to find a girl named Ramsey, not Ramses, but Ramsey. And she's somewhere on a truck, I guess, in the mountains, in a certain mountain range, and there were several places to attack, but they decided to attack in the most heavily protected area, just to catch them off guard. You can think about that for a second. I'm not gonna explain it, but guess how they went in it. They didn't like do it stealthily. No. They took their cars and they rode it out of a plane. Just think about it for a moment. Process that. Okay. Of course they use parachutes and stuff. I was tempted to yell out in the movie theater, no, like CinemaSins style. But yeah, it's a caravan. They're chasing the bus with the girl, and woo. And eventually they get to a scene where and after a whole lot of not much happening, they get to a scene where one of the good guys, team members, is on a bus, and it's on the bus, and it's about to go off the cliff. It's like hanging by a thread, and he has to climb up it, and then once he jumps to the cliff, and once he jumps to the cliff to save his life, the train's just falling off. Now think about that. Does that remind you of anything? Okay, here, let me refresh your memory. I'm not sure if many of you know this, but I started off my YouTube channel doing Uncharted 3. Now think about the first scene in Uncharted 2 for a second. You know, when the train's hanging off the cliff and Nathan Drake has to climb up it, and once he jumps to the cliff, the train's like just falling off. That ring a bell? Does that ring? Anyways, Yeah, that part reminded me so much of Uncharted. So much, but yeah, that absolutely nothing happened. And also I want you to take note of this. The good guys, like, he has the girl, Ramsey, and he's surrounded by a ton of cars, and of course yeah, they're on the edge of a cliff, and he's surrounded by all those cars, and it is infinite wisdom. Well, actually, yeah, I'm not being sarcastic about that. He rides his car off the cliff with the girl, and of course he's screaming and everything. But yeah, and of course, he lives. They both live. The car definitely doesn't live, but you know, they roll down the cliff. They don't go like. I'm using my hand motion. I'm using my hands to, thinking that you guys will be able to see, but they don't ride down it. They roll down it, and of course they live. And their pals are like, "Oh yeah, you okay?" And it's, like, who cares? You just rode off a cliff. Who cares? Yeah. And then, you know, the girl was hacking and stuff. I don't actually know what they were doing because I was running around in the movie theater trying to find the bathroom. But yeah, not much really. But not much notable things happened. But eventually, I guess she had a memory card inside of a car. Some sort of memory card with something in it that would help the God's Eye, as I mentioned earlier. The God's Eye, by the way, like, finds all these humans, keeps track of everything. And yeah, so they hit like a party where the car is located, and they find it, and it's super muscly, and they stealth their way through, and super muscly guy like picks it up, and then other dude tries to find the memory chip underneath the car, and I was like thinking he's gonna drop it, but he didn't, of course. So, but then they get noticed and locked down, and you know what they do? They ride the car out. By the way, this is taking place in a huge building. Well, not a huge building, but a really tall building, right next to two other buildings. And so they literally ride the car out. They crash it through the wall, and then screensavers. They ride it through, and then they land in the other building. They land in the other building. Now just think of that for a moment. Just the car zooming through the air, and then just land. It just crashes through the other building and lands in it. It's I don't know. That's the only way I can put it, but just flying through the air, just gets into the other building, and there's no brakes, and so they end up doing the exact same thing. They crash through the wall and go to the next and last building, and of course someone's having a classy party. By the way, there are no brakes on this car, so that's why they couldn't. That's why they actually couldn't stop, and that's why they couldn't stop in the second building. But yeah, it just, and then they jump out and roll out, and they got the memory chip. Oh yay! No. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. That's not real life. Like this, like I said, this is like over the top. As over the top as Sonic the Hedgehog. And yeah, it's just, no, that didn't happen. That doesn't happen. Okay, you don't. How did they not, like, when they were soaring through the air and they crashed into the other building? How did they actually land on a floor instead of just? And how did they actually land on one of the floors instead of actually landing, like, in the middle of two floors? Like, what is that luck? Yeah, they get the memory chip, and boring. And then they find the guy in his base, and they go in there, and that guy that was helping out, the good guy, He turns out he's badass. He puts on his nightshade sunglasses and starts shooting things up. It's typical good guys, and also speaking of typical good guys, horrible aim of the bad guys. Like bad guy, like incredible aim. Sarcasm. Yeah, just no. He gets shot though, and you know he has to call his medics, and we don't see him anymore. Here, just we don't see him anymore in the rest of the movie. No more. But then we get to the final scene, the climax scene, and everything. Where they're riding the cars. By the way, this movie is basically cars, guns, and girls that have like barely any clothes on, and they're just and the camera's just zooming in on their unprotected bits. But yeah, and yeah, this I don't really remember that much, but there's a helicopter chasing all of them, and 5 times, I think, 5 times they avoid like missiles. 5 times, seriously, that's over the top again. And then they shoot the radio tower down so that this girl, so that Ramsey can't hack into their systems. And of course a guy has to go up there and repair the radio tower, all while being chased by an Asian guy, a ninja, and he's running down like 7 flights of stairs with a door that was knocked down. And did I tell you this movie was over the top? Yeah, he ends up repairing it, and she hacks into the thing. And the guy that originally got injured and tossed out of the building, he's like, oh yeah, I have to do my work. And he just shoots everything. He doesn't really do that much. What I really did like is that, the real big battle, it was the good guy that the original, I guess the main character, it was him versus whatever his name was, Shaw, I think it was. Him versus Shaw, and instead of doing the typical guns and everything, what they do is they both grab like 2 long metal parts of their cars. So they're like dual wielding swords, but of course these are like hobbit swords, so they're really small. But you know, that was a generic fight, of course. But then the guys that were in the helicopter, they shoot the missile, and then the place they were fighting on collapses, and you know, main character guy is just like, you know what they say about street fights, street always wins, whatever that means. But yeah, street that they were on collapses, and he doesn't die. We'll talk about that later. But then, you know, the main character, he uses his car, and rides it up a ramp, and then puts an explosive on the helicopter, and then the other main character guy that got his arm broken and fell out of the building, he shoots the explosive thing with the minigun. What? But yeah, he was at like 100 feet. Now let me remind you that the same guy fell from a cliff, and he was in a car, and he survived. And this is basically the same situation, but not a cliff. It's only like 75 feet or something. And he falls down. By the way, they're in like a completely, well, now demolished parking space thing. And he rides, and once he's gotten the explosive on the thing, he crashes down, and and everyone magically appears, as my mom reminded me. Everyone magically appears. All the other characters magically appear there. And his girlfriend or wife, I guess. It's like, oh no, memories, and plot and stuff, and yeah, and then, and I was thinking, no, not much happens after that, but I was just thinking. So, he falls from a cliff, and he's completely fine, and his friends are just like, oh yeah, are you okay? Who cares? But now he falls 75 feet, or 100 feet, I don't know. And everyone's like, no, he's dead, no. Okay, in the end he does live, but why? Why is everyone worried in the first place? Why? He fell from a cliff and he lived. Why do you have to worry about him falling from 75 feet and not living? Why? He should. Of course he would live. Yeah, not much happens after that. Just stuff and family and yeah. I'm sorry for just talking about the entire movie, but yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. This video is gonna be like 25 minutes long or something. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, not gonna upload on Wednesday unless my grandma for some reason has Sony Vegas on her computer. But yeah, not gonna be around. So, but you know, I'll record some stuff there, real life, by the way, if you haven't noticed. I'll record something. I'll be going to San Francisco while I'm there. But yeah, I'll just kind of. What was I gonna say? I'll just. I'll compile it up later when I get home from the trip, I guess. Or maybe I'll release like several different videos. I don't know. Just the point is, I'm not gonna be there. I hope you watch the Fast and Furious 7 movie. If you're here, because if you haven't, then you probably aren't gonna watch it ever. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I know this isn't as quality as my other videos, but I still hope you enjoyed it. So bye, have a nice day. Oh, by the way, almost forgot to say, in near the end of the movie, someone started like slowly clapping, like, and then just, yeah, someone starts slowly clapping, and then just everyone starts clapping. I'm like, I'm thinking, this is 2015, right? I mean, no one claps after movies anymore. But yeah, people clapped after he started like, slowly clapping. Everyone started clapping like just way faster. And it was like a flash mob. And I was thinking, everyone's clapping, like one guy starts clapping and then everyone else does. What is this, a movie? Oh, wait.